Guys, we have a good one today. We are going to be talking about why your life has value. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? My name is Brian B. if you're new around here, and we're going to talk a little bit about why your life has value. But in order to explain why you have value, we have to answer the question of why anything has value to begin with. Right? And there's a lot of reasons why we place value on different things. Two I want to talk about today are the fact that something might have practical value and something might have intrinsic value. Practical value means that it's a useful. Intrinsic value means that there's something innate about it that makes it valuable. I want you to take a look at this $100 bill that I have here. Now, if I were to offer it to any of you out there and said, hey, I got $100, who wants it? Most of you would not hesitate at all to grab this $100 bill, to reach into your screen and grab this $100 bill. There might be a handful of you that are asking, okay, Brian, what's your angle? What are you trying to get from me? What are you trying to sell? You're a little skeptical of me, but that's okay. I get that. I'm like that myself. But most of you would take this $100 bill in a heartbeat because it has practical value. If I were to give you this $100, you would know exactly what you would want to spend it on. There's something in your mind you would want to use this for. It has practical value because it's useful to you. But if I were to take a piece of paper, if I were to start drawing a rectangle on it, draw a smiley face in the middle, maybe 100 in the corner, put my little signature somewhere towards the bottom, cut it out of that piece of paper and hand that to you and say, hey, here's $100, you'd probably look at me like, dude, you're a fool. And you'd be 100% right, because it's a piece of paper that I drew on and it would be worth zero, right? But this $100 that the US Treasury created, that they drew on, they put a smiley face on it, they put 100 in the corner, they put a signature on the bottom, cut it out and gave it to you. This $100 actually is worth $100. There's something intrinsic about this piece of paper and the way it was made that makes it more valuable than that little piece of paper I would try to sell to you. Now, this reminds me of something. Jesus was walking into this town. There was a bunch of religious rulers that were pissed off at him because he had pissed them off a lot earlier. And so they were trying to trick him, trying to trap him to get him in trouble. And so they come up to Jesus and they say, Jesus, is it okay for the people to pay the tax to the Romans? Now, you got to understand, in that time in Israel, they were occupied by the Roman Empire. The Jews hated the Romans, and the Romans weren't too fond of the Jews either. And so the idea of having to pay taxes to them was just abhorrent. They just did not want to do it. So they were trying to trick Jesus. If he says, no, don't pay the tax to the Romans, then the Romans would have every reason to arrest him and get rid of him. If he would say, yes, go ahead and pay the tax, then the Jews would stop following him, stop listening to him, and turn away from him. Win-win for those religious rulers. Well, Jesus had an interesting answer. He says, somebody get me a coin. And he holds the coin up, and I'm holding up a bill, but similar. He says, whose picture is on this coin? And he holds it up to everyone, and they say Caesar's. And he says this amazing thing. He says, then give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and give to God what is God's. And what he is actually saying is that, this coin, or in our case, this bill, whose picture is on it? Caesar. If Caesar made it and Caesar wants to tax you and he wants some of that money back, then give it to him. Give to Caesar's what is Caesar's. But the profound thing that Jesus says is the fact that he says, give to God what is God. And what he is saying here is, just like this piece of paper has an image on it, every single one of us has God's image on us. When he made us in his image. You have a lot of practical value. The way you are kind to people, the way you are loving to people, the way you make people laugh, the way you're there for your friends. There's a lot of practical things about you that is valuable to other people. But even if there was no one that found practical value in me, or no one that felt practical value in any of us. I want you to know that you have intrinsic value. There's something innate about you because God created you in His image, and that makes you valuable. Guys, I want to make sure we walk away knowing what this means for you. First, I want you to know that you're highly valued. So, stop with the negative self-talk and don't let anyone look down on you. You might be sitting there thinking that no one cares about you, that people don't really care who you are, what you do, anything about you. I want to encourage you that the God who made you sees you, He hears you, and He loves you because you're highly valuable to Him. And next, I want you to know that the people around you, your neighbors, are highly valuable as well. So don't look down on them. And also, if they are being marginalized, I want you to stand with them and lift them up because they're valuable. You know, they might be neighbors who have special needs. They might be neighbors who are younger or older. They might be neighbors who are black or people of color. They may be immigrants. Whatever their scenario, I want you to see your neighbors, and if they're being marginalized, I want you to stand up for them and lift them up. Why? Because the God that made them, He sees them, He hears them, and He loves them because they're highly valuable to Him, and He might have put them in your life to be the person that lifts them up. Hey guys, thanks for stopping in tonight. If you found any value in this video, hit that like button and subscribe. But most importantly, share it. If you know someone that could benefit from hearing this message, share it with them. I'd love it to be a source of hope for them as well. And thanks for stopping in. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.